Hi. So it's 11:53 p.m. and there wasn't a video yesterday. And this one I genuinely couldn't because I'm dead.
Get off the trampoline. It's like 12 o'clock at night.
No, it's 11:53. Don't do that.
Right.
Right, I'm gonna kick you. I'm dead serious. You're being louder. He's not gonna be happy, but he can take an L. So, everyone. But yeah, basically, like I was saying, a couple days ago, I was going to the beach, and the estimated time for us to get home was around 11. But that meant to be back at the church at 11, not necessarily getting home at 11. And we got home a little after 11, and I did not get home until I think around 11:40. Now, there's 10 minutes available to bounce there. The difference is, though, I physically was exhausted because that's the thing. Also, I had stuff I had to do. I needed to take my shower. I needed to unpack my stuff. I had a lot of stuff I needed to do. And I physically and mentally could not do it. I would have to rush myself and all that to do that, and I couldn't. I simply could not. That's the thing. I woke up like 8:30ish. I had to get all of my stuff together. I left, and I didn't get home until like 11:40. And guys, I'm dead serious. I put my heart and soul into doing this every day, right? But yesterday, if I did this, I would literally end up collapsing. I'm not even exaggerating. I was so unbelievably exhausted. I know that if I did, I would get my ass whooped by either my older brother or my parents because they're sleeping. They need their sleep. Also, it was basically pitch black in my house. Like, excuse me. This was just a one time where I have to say, I can't do it. I just couldn't. I needed to go to bed because I physically was so exhausted. I was so exhausted. I couldn't function. I simply couldn't. I dreaded taking a shower that night because I just wanted to lay down and sleep. And so please understand that. Because this is the one time where I need to say no. Even though I have 20 minutes to do it, I have to say no. I have to say no. Technically, if I want to do the challenge correctly, like I wanted to do it start at 11:50. That's the thing. I had a lot of layers that I had to take off, and my body, I felt like garbage. I was at the beach. I mean, my body physically felt disgusting, and with my OCD and stuff, it makes it even harder. Like I couldn't. I literally wouldn't be able to talk. I'd be exhausted. I would be bugging my family. It would be dark in the room. The lighting would suck. I'd get yelled at. I'd probably collapse. I know I wouldn't be able to make it the full 10 minutes because my legs were in so much pain from just all the sheer exercise I've been doing the past 4 days. I just couldn't. I simply couldn't. So, I'm doing 20 minutes. But what I might have to do is 10 minutes tonight and then 20 minutes tomorrow. What was he? Hi, Nevaeh. So, sorry. I apologize, but when you're doing a challenge like this, I need to be able to. I can't be an idiot. I can't be stupid. And this is just one of those times when I needed to not be stupid. Because if I bounced last night, I would literally have collapsed. Because I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. And you could ask anyone at my church, I literally, like, at the last little bit of the ride home, like an hour before I got home, I was struggling just to keep my head up. Like, everything felt delirious. Like, I don't know exactly how to describe it. It's just, I just couldn't. And I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. So, and I'm gonna make up for it. I'm sorry. But it's just, what's what happens. Here's the pig. Okay? Everything's good. Alright, yeah. Anyway, now that I've talked about this for 6.5 minutes, let's talk about how yesterday actually went. So it was really cool. So I woke up, I had to get ready, I rushed to get ready because I only had about an hour and I needed to eat and I need to get all my stuff together. Because we're going to the beach, it's not like it's like one or two things you have to grab. Like, I needed towels, another pair of clothing, sunscreen, all these things. And I need to eat, I need to wake up, I needed to, do what normal people do. Or at least what I do, so. I gotta turn this off. Why is on? How do I turn it off again? The light on my keyboard is on. It's like F10 or F11. Crap, how do you? I don't know. Whatever, I'm not gonna deal with it right now anyway. So, yeah, but went to the church and then I got to ride in the bus and so we rode over to the beach. And by golly, by gosh, it was interesting. So we went to Santa Monica up here. Very popular place here in California. And probably one of the most popular beaches that I know of, especially in California. So I'm like, okay, it'll probably be great. This is one of the worst beaches I've been to. This is top 2 worst. And the only other one that is in the top 2 worst is this one where the water is just full of dirt. Like, it's basically just full of dirt, and it makes it super just to be in the water. But here's my issue with Santa Monica. First off, probably the sketchiest place I've ever been. I didn't feel safe at all there. Like, there were a lot of scammers, and I literally, the smell of cigarettes. Yeah, I hate that. I hate it. And I smelled it so much. Like, God, I just didn't feel safe at all. No one looked happy, and it's like, my youth pastor was like, hey, make sure you're not in the way of people and all this. And it's like, and I get it, because, people need to be able to walk. At the same time, it's like, I felt like if I didn't move out of the way, I was gonna get shot. Like, I didn't feel safe. And I wanted to go to Subway to get myself some lunch. Freaking $10 footlong because it's the beach. But, I freaking hated it. I just hated every moment of it. Ordering my food was like a chore. And whenever I couldn't hear what they said, I just felt like I was gonna get killed. Like, when I had to ask them what they said because I couldn't hear them. I hated it. Another issue, the water. It's so cold. It doesn't warm up the longer you stay in it. It's just cold. It just sucks. This is the first time I didn't want to remotely go in the water. I never, ever want to not be in the water when I'm at the beach. But this was the first. This was the first. Alright, there's my 10 minutes. Now it's rant time. Oops. And yeah, so yeah, and also another thing with the waves there. Funny thing about the waves, I don't know if it's specifically something that was just today, or I mean like yesterday, sorry. But what's funny about the waves is they're only good right as they crash, but right after they crash, like for half a second they're good, and they just turn to garbage waves that are just like they're barely anything. And that kind of blows, because then that means the only way you'll actually have a nice wave, waves you want to have when you're at the beach, is if you're right on top of the wave as it crashes on top of you and push you under the water. And I don't want to be pushed under the water for every single wave, because I'm gonna die. Or at least like that can end pretty badly. That can suck. And boogie boarding there was impossible because it's so crowded there. There's so many people there. It doesn't work. It was horrible. However, but yeah, basically, so we get to the beach. Let's backtracking a bit, and we have to walk like a whole mile in sand just to get to where we need to be, right? Or at least like close to a mile. It's such a far freaking walking distance, so we had to walk. But yeah, we get to the spot, and then I get ready. I put sunscreen on. I go in the water, and I already explained that. After I get out of the water, and I realize, this sucks. And this is also after I had my Subway sandwich that I wanted to order. I decided that I would play Spikeball, which is a really fun game. I recommend it. And so I was watching my youth pastor and then some of my fellow church boys, playing Spikeball. But then after that game, they were like, "Yeah, I'm gonna be done for now." But so then it was just me and one other person we were playing, and then they were like, "Yeah, I want to be done." I just wasn't feeling it either, so I was like, "Okay." But my good friend, also known as the Pickle King, which by the way is my rival because of course he likes pickles, and I kind of always tell you guys to don't eat pickles, which you shouldn't. Don't eat pickles. They're gross. Okay? Thank you. Yeah. So, I noticed he was digging a hole. And he was digging a big hole. And he had been digging this hole for 3 hours already, right? Yeah. That's how much time had passed already. Crazy. I know. Or at least like 2.5 something, right? He had a big hole going, right? He had a really big hole. And I found out whenever he goes to the beach, he always digs a hole. Also, I hurt my finger. If it'll focus. Focus on my finger. I don't know. Well, if you guys can see it, like it hurts. Because what happened was I decided that I would dig a hole. One, because of the Pickle King thing that we do, because we're actually really good friends. But that's like a little joke we have with each other. Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna make the best hole ever. And but really it was just because I didn't really know what to do, and I thought digging a hole would be fun because I never am in the sand usually. I love the water. This is the first time I just didn't want to be in the water. So yeah, I dug a hole. I dug a hole that was about 1.5 feet deep, I say, in like an hour and a half, I think. But it was really fun. I was just talking to friends and digging a hole, and yeah. But at the end, when we had to go, and of course you have to fill up the hole after we're done, because it's not because we want to necessarily, but because it's a safety precaution. Sorry, but we have to, unfortunately. But I wish we didn't have to, but it's right. It's only right. So I decided that I would sit in the hole. I kind of made it like a chair, so I put my legs in the hole, and then I just sat on the regular sand, and then I just buried myself. And by golly, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. And then I got out of the sand, I wiped myself off, and we started walking back to the van. And so, to the bus. And then we got back to the bus. A couple of my friends flirted with some girls and got their phone numbers, and then we were on our way home. And it was a wonderful ride back home. And then, yeah. And then I got home and I slept. Took my shower and then slept because I need to take my showers because it was after the beach. So no way I was sleeping in my bed without a shower. So yeah. But yeah, that was yesterday. Anyway, this is already at 16 minutes, and I got another 10 minutes of bouncing that I gotta do. So I'm gonna do that now, and I'll talk about today. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching, though. Hope you guys all have a wonderful rest of your day, evening, afternoon, night. Good night. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you on the next one tomorrow or on the next one. Bye-bye. And don't eat pickles, or else Spring Break Madness won't happen again. Because this is my last day of Spring Break Madness for me personally, because the one for Friday or today's thing I didn't go to. And I'll explain that in the next one. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you there. Bye-bye.